Love can turn into a nightmare if you don't avoid the relationship mistakes I'm about to share in this video. There are several mistakes people make when dating or while in a dating relationship. And if you can actually pass the stage of dating relationship, trust me, you are going to have a successful and a peaceful, loving relationship. So in this video, I have 7 common relationship mistakes to avoid while dating. I will guide you through on how to avoid these mistakes and find true love. So when it comes to relationship, I've been there. We all have been there. It's always an exciting experience. Usually the best time of relationship when the feelings are high strong and we have less commitment. But of course, as much as the feelings are strong and you're feeling so strong for the person, if you're not careful, you're going to fall into some pitfalls. So right now, I need you to get a pen and a paper or a pen and your book, because I'm going to share some secrets that you need for a successful relationship to avoid some pitfalls while dating. So mistake number 1, uncontrolled feelings. I understand it. When we are new in a relationship, we tend to be very strong, like we feel so strong. Sometimes you can't control those feelings there. But the fact is that it takes you to the place of making careless decisions. Like you don't have control over your decisions anymore. You want to do many things. You want to do several things at the same time. I remember when I was dating a guy, that was a long distance relationship. And of course, God, I didn't have control over my feelings and we struggled in that relationship. I remember that I wasn't sleeping well. I spent the night talking with this guy because the emotion was so strong. So I can just take calls from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. and it's crazy, right? It doesn't make any sense. It wasn't good for my health, and it was just like that for over 1 week, 2 weeks, and close to a month. I was just having sleepless nights because I was in love with someone. And of course, that was uncontrolled feelings. It wasn't doing me better. Yes, we discussed. I can't even remember all we discussed, but it was fun then. I feel happy. I felt good. I felt like I was doing the right thing. But of course, when you are in a relationship, in dating relationship, if care is not taken, you're going to have uncontrolled feelings. And people make some even more heavier mistakes other than taking calls like I did then. So when you are in a relationship, you are in a dating relationship, you have to be careful on the decisions you make. Sometimes you want to do the right thing, but you can't because you feel strong. So this is how to have controlled feelings while in a dating relationship. Find someone to confide in. Of course, it should be someone that has strong influence over you. Sometimes it could be a friend, like a trusted friend you can talk to about your relationship. It can be a mentor, it can be a relationship therapist, it can be someone who really, cares about you, who will give you the right advice. It's not just about someone who loves you. Sometimes I don't encourage people to talk to their parents about relationship, especially if the parent does not really, have that interest in the dating relationship. Places like Nigeria or where I am right now in Africa, I clearly understand the fact that most parents don't encourage dating relationship, and if you should go ahead and talk to them about it, you'll be surprised at the advice they are going to come up with. To be on a safer side, it's okay to talk to someone, but let it be someone that first of all understands that yes, this relationship is important to you, and secondly, you need help. You need help of their perspective, of their idea, which means you need to open up. You need to tell them exactly what is going on in the relationship. Tell them about the relationship, your experiences, how strong you feel for this person, and what you feel like doing. Even when you feel like doing some crazy things, you have to open up. So it's more like a call for accountability. So if you don't want to make the mistake of making some strange decisions and choices, or making a lot of mistakes just because you have uncontrolled feelings, you have to look for someone to talk to. Someone should know about the relationship. Don't do it privately. Even if your partner says, no, let's just do it ourselves, you don't need to. You mustn't even tell the person you are dating that you are talking to somebody, but you should have someone you are telling about what is happening, what is going on, and what's up with you. But let it be someone that is trustworthy. I will advise you go for a relationship therapist or a mentor, someone, of course, who is not jealous of you, because sometimes when you get to friends and you're telling friends what is happening for you, some of them could be jealous and the advice might not come the way you want it. So be open enough to share your experience in your new relationship. Just talk about what is going on and give them room and let them know that you appreciate their idea, their thoughts over you. Of course, they will give you a better idea because they are not the one in love. You are the one in love. And of course, you know that love is blind, like they say, but not to people who are not in love with you. Of course, they are not in love with you, so they can see what you cannot see. So even if you are blinded by law, they are not blind as you are. So they are in a better position to see the areas you're making mistakes, and they can tell you, hey, girl, hey, guy, you are making a big mistake. You're not getting it right here. And that will help you to take the right steps or make the right choices. Remember, if you're in love with someone and you are just full of mistakes or wrong choices or wrong decisions, it's not going to save the relationship. So if you really want that relationship to work out fine, you have to take some measures. You need to take some steps that works. But when your emotions are not under control, you'll find out that you take some steps that you think or perceive is good, but of course will finally land you into trouble, and you wouldn't want to have that. So mistake number 2 is constant suspicion and jealousy. Like, oh God, this is one trouble that a lot of people who are in a dating relationship get into. Like, you are full of suspicion, you are full of jealousy just because you're strong for the person. Of course, dating relationship is a time of strength, it's a time of so much love. That's perfect, but you must be careful with how you look at the person. Remember, you're not married yet to the person, so I don't think you have all the right to be jealous and to be suspicious over their activities or their affairs. Of course, you should give people room to relate with other people, but in any case, I still understand that people cheat in relationships, but you are not quite sure, because suspicion and jealousy is when some things are not clear to you. But know very well that when you are, jealous in relationship and suspicious over your partner, or you are just not sure of the person, it kills relationship faster than it builds relationship. So jealousy and suspicion is something you cannot deal with in relationship. You should work hard to see that it's not working there, it's not active in your relationship, because it will mar the relationship. You don't need to be in a relationship where there is jealousy and there is suspicion. When you are working with someone and you find out that the person is jealous of you, it doesn't make you can never be comfortable with such individuals. So if you really want a natural flow of feelings, natural flow of thought, you want to really enjoy a life, like something that is alive in relationships. So you must never deal with jealousy and suspicion. It kills relationships so fast. Nobody wants to be suspected. So you don't have to suspect anybody, and you don't have to be jealous. You have to try as much as possible to respect people's boundaries, respect them. They are still free to talk to anybody. They are still free to share their thoughts, their experiences, and relate with people on a close range, as long as they are not married to you. So make sure you don't involve jealousy and suspicion in your relationship. And how do you deal with jealousy and suspicion if at all you are having such experience? You have to be open with how you feel. You have to involve the person. You have to call the person for a meeting and tell the person how you feel. If there is something you're not understanding or something that is not clear to you, call for a meeting, talk about it. There's always room to talk about what you don't understand. So if you cannot communicate about the issue, there is no point being jealous or being suspicious, because suspicious and jealousy is going to kill the relationship. It will even complicate issues more. It's going to keep you in a state of being so uncomfortable, you'll be sad while the other person is even fine and enjoying themselves. And there's no positive results that is going to come to you when you don't discuss it. So if you really want to do away with jealousy and suspicion, because I know it's a struggle sometimes, because these are natural experience that comes, like it flows, the feelings that are it comes when you don't even expect them to come. So once you begin to notice that you are jealous or you are suspicious, you are suspecting your partner while dating or anything, just make sure that you talk about it, talk things over. Dating stage are times when you learn the person, so it's even a better opportunity for you to know how this person reacts when you share what you feel is not okay. So be bold enough to talk about whatever it is. Don't be afraid of anybody's face, because it's about your well-being. There is no point being in a relationship where you are not sure if the person is for you, or you are not comfortable with the kind of friends they keep around them and the way they relate with them. So you have the right, provided you're in a relationship with that person, you have the right to discuss matters that are not going well with you and boldly talk about it. It shows that you know what you should know, and of course they should also come to you when they have such experience or they are facing such. So if you must have a healthy dating relationship, you have to stay away from suspicion and jealousy. So talk about your feelings or fears. Trust me, when you communicate openly, you wouldn't have any reason to be jealous. The reason why people are jealous and they are suspicious is because some things are not clear to them. They are just, assumptions, perspectives, a lot of things are just cooking up. So, but when you bring those thoughts into reality and talk things over, your partner can tell you why they do what they do, or they can even explain to you, and you begin to understand that what you saw or what you thought was not true. And that's where you save yourself from unrealistic, feelings that are not really existing. So mistake number 3 is disregarding boundaries. This is one major mistake that a lot of people make in relationships while dating. Boundaries is very important. Like when we are in a dating relationship, the feelings are strong. That is when we are quick to lose ourselves, and sometimes you forget your boundaries or you don't take your boundaries seriously. This could bring about more serious issues in the future, because when you tell people how you want them to manage you, that is exactly how they're going to manage you. So the early stage of your relationship are times when you introduce yourself to people, you tell them, you tell your partner what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and that is exactly how they are going to follow you. So when creating boundaries while dating in relationship, you have to be careful at how you position yourself, how you present yourself, based on when you want them to call you, when you want to be seen, how you want to be visited, the right time that works for you, what doesn't work for you, how you want to be talked to, addressed. And these are very, very important. So don't say, yeah, I'm in love, he will understand, she will understand. Just go ahead and make it clear to this person that this is what works for you and this is what you cannot take. Don't endure it like you are putting it in your heart, waiting for the right time to talk about it. If you cannot talk about it early in the relationship while you are dating, you will struggle with talking about it when the relationship gets more serious. I've seen a lot of people who get into trouble because they are trying to open up when it's late in relationship. So relationships should be progressive. So begin early to talk about what you cannot take. Draw your lines. Tell people when you want to be called. Tell people how you want to be appreciated. Tell people the kind of gifts that work for you. Tell them, like tell your friend or tell your lover what really works for you and what you want to, come your way. If you don't understand this, there could come a time in your relationship where you feel that you are being, disturbed or bugged or, spammed and all that, and you wouldn't want that. So begin early to set the standards that will work for you. And if you get it right, trust me, the relationship will work even more as it gets stronger and it gets better. Maybe you want to marry the person, and that's beautiful. So you train people how to communicate with you, how to relate with you. You let people know what works for you, and that way you become safer, you feel more good, and you enjoy the relationship. So mistake number 4 is not addressing conflict. A lot of people make these mistakes while in a dating relationship. Of course, when you are in a dating relationship, sometimes you wouldn't want to make the other person feel uncomfortable. You just want exciting moments, fun moments, so you don't want a boring moment, talking about issues and stuff that are not good about them or the bad side they have. Remember, you are building a relationship for both of you and you are involved in that relationship. If you don't resolve issues, the right way, it is still going to pop up later in the relationship. The heart cannot be seen. So sometimes people can hide so many things in the heart. They don't tell you, they don't share it, they don't pour it out, and it will be buried in their heart for you to later see it. And you'll be surprised when the person opens up and is like, you did this to me, you did that to me, and you just be like, are you serious? You really had this in your heart. So whenever you see that you are having conflict in the relationship, be open to discuss it, call for a meeting, talk about that thing, whether you are the one that is uncomfortable with the situation or started misunderstanding your partner, or it's coming from your partner. Always call for discussion, let it be resolved. So make sure that you discuss the root cause of the conflict and let your partner open up while you open up, so that both of you can talk about this issue and really come to the place of understanding. And that way it has been dealt with. You'll find out that he or she will not remind you of what happened then or what you did to him or her then. So don't neglect conflict. This is one of the best ideas for everyone who is in a dating relationship. Never you neglect conflict. You have to deal with conflict, talk about it, resolve it peacefully and very well, because the purpose of relationship is for compatibility, for communion, communication, relating. So there should be one heart with flow of thoughts, flow of understanding. And when conflict is involved, it could cause a breach of contract. You understand? People run into situation where they don't love themselves again, or they don't understand that what is going on in their relationship. And these are accumulated conflicts that is buried in their heart, that was not dealt with, they were not discussed, and you wouldn't want to have that experience. And some people carry it over into marriage relationship, into courtship and marriage, and it's not necessary. So while in a dating relationship, don't close your eyes to some certain things or issues that comes up in the relationship. Make sure you talk about it. Talk about it, address it. Admit to your weakness, your failures, or your anything. Ask for forgiveness if there is need for it. And that way you can even let your partner know that, of course, in this relationship, we have to be open to admit to our faults, admit to our failures, and also, be open to ask for forgiveness. That is easy to do. So I believe the stage of relationship is a time where you learn your partner, you also teach them, not just learning. Forget about smiles and expression. When someone says, oh, what you want to talk about it, and the person is like, oh, don't worry, I've forgotten about it. No, you have to choose. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I did this and did that and did this and did that. I am sorry. You'll be surprised that while you are still saying I did this and did that, the person will be like, but you shouldn't have. You see that something is buried inside the heart. And it's very wrong to be with someone whose heart is not with you, or who has something wrong in the heart. This is because dating stage of relationship or dating relationship are times when you can easily be careless with your emotions and feelings. And when someone's heart is not right with you, the person can decide to take advantage of you without you knowing, or the person can resent you. Mistake number 5 is not supporting each other while dating. This is very, very important. And most times I see that ladies tend to take more advantage of, the man or the guy while in a relationship. You have to understand that relationship is not a one-man goal. It must be balanced. There must be something you are offering. So you don't have to, behave as though you are just the only person in the relationship. You are taking money, you are taking attention, you are taking a lot of things. Because you are the one to be chased does not mean that you are not to give back to the relationship. That's for ladies. And also for guys, there are some relationships where the guy, while in dating relationship, they suck from the woman, they suck from the girl, they suck from the lady, and it's not necessary. So while in a dating relationship, you have to make sure that you are bringing in good, you are supportive, you are bringing in something that is worth it. So that makes the relationship healthy and balanced. So the relationship must be healthy so that you will be healthy and your partner will be healthy. When it's one-sided, the other person can be dying while you are healthy. And of course, you wouldn't want to lose someone you love. So if you really want your dating relationship to work, you have to avoid this common mistake of not supporting your partner. So be very much supportive and be willing to bring in more. How to be supportive is that you have to find out what their need is, discover what your partner's need is while in a dating relationship. You can ask questions, because sometimes you can assume that they need this, but of course it's not what they need. So ask questions and also watch them. Sometimes you can see their families and how they treat them and everything, and what they really appreciate, maybe on birthdays, on while graduating and doing one or two things, or in their offices, you can see what they appreciate, or even while discussing with them, and try to be supportive anyhow you can. Just make sure that you are giving in something. Don't just always expect the person to be perfect and do this and do that. That is one of the mistake people make in relationship while dating, and you wouldn't want to be a victim to that, because it's likely to ruin your relationship. If it's one-sided, one person can get up one day and decide that this relationship is not working for him or her because he's not getting anything from it. So the person you love so much can wake up and want to abandon the relationship. And of course, you wouldn't like that, because they are dry or they are drained already, because nothing is coming from you and they are likely to give up. So as well as you are to have your boundaries, remember that you are to offer something, you are to give something in return as the person is there. That's actually why the relationship is there in the first place. So complete yourselves, offer something as you take something. That is the way it works. So mistake number 6 is letting external influences. Yes, I talked about the fact that you should confide in a friend or a mentor, a relationship coach, when it has to do with your relationship, dating relationship, so that you will have control. But external influences here means that you don't have control over who says what in your relationship, or over the advices that come. So a lot of times people don't have control on what ideas they receive from people over their relationship. Now understand that some people are busybodies. Apart from busybodies, there are some people who also like you. Yes, you don't tell them what is going on in your relationship, but they like to know. And sometimes just by what they see around you, they will be like, ah, you should have done this, you should have done that. Or they begin to become inquisitive about what is going on in your relationship. And once you open up to them, they begin to tell you what works and what should not work, or how it should be done. And if you're not careful, these external influences can come in and destroy your dating relationship. And you wouldn't want to make this mistake. So you have to stay on what works for you. Whoever tells you whatever they say and all that is good, but make sure it goes through a filter. It goes through a filter, because every relationship is unique. So in your dating stage of relationship, there is always something that works for you and your partner. So if possible, you can even carry whatever they said and take it to your mentor, or take it to the person you are confiding your relationship in. You can take it, share it with them, and see what they say before you buy the idea and employ it into your relationship. I see a lot of people make this common mistake in their dating stage of relationship, and I wouldn't want you to be a victim to that. So if you're in a relationship with someone, be careful of the information you gather from people, whether they are your classmates, they are your work staff mates or staff friends, or whoever they are, wherever they are located, even families, brothers and sisters. When it comes to relationship, it can be critical sometimes, because relationships are unique. So what works for one may not work for the other person. So when someone is telling you what has worked for him and worked for them and want you to do the same thing, remember that you are dealing with a different individual who may have a different temperament, have a different understanding, perspective, and if you apply the same thing in your relationship, it could ruin your relationship. So whatever you want to do or buy from friends or families, make sure that it goes through a filter. Let it be filtered through someone who really understands purpose of relationship, likes you, and someone, in fact, go to a relationship therapist, ask questions, and be sure that you are taking in the right advice. It's going to help you a lot to keep your dating relationship safe and mature it, grow it into what you want it to be. So learn to be confidential with some certain informations. Like, some people make this mistake of sharing every information with friends. You might think, yes, you are not going to buy their ideas, but words are powerful. When people tell you something, you think you didn't buy into it. Sometimes they are there in your subconscious mind and they have entered into your conscious mind. And later they come up to, like, you begin to consider it. And if care is not taken, you begin to buy into it and act by those words. So be confidential with some information that has to do with your relationship. You shouldn't tell everybody. You mustn't be talking carelessly. There are the right people to talk to. If you're a church person, you have to confide in your pastor. You have deacons, you have mentors in church, you have people who are learned. But of course, the relationship therapist will do more, because this is a field where they are, unique at. And beautiful when he's a pastor, because a pastor is led by the Holy Ghost as well. So, but make sure that you have a balance when making your relationship decision. Finally, mistake number 7 is losing yourself into the relationship. A lot of people make this mistake when they are in a dating relationship. They neglect personal interests. They don't care about themselves again, because they are only seeing the other person. It can be hard to see yourself when you are in love. Sometimes when we are in love, we are just looking at the other person. We are seeing, our partner. We are just looking at them. We want to understand them. We want to learn what works for them. We want to please them. We want to make them feel good. We want to just them. And I don't blame you for that. But the fact remains that you cannot lose yourself while in a dating relationship. This is a common mistake you must avoid, and don't be a victim to that, because before the person ever fell in love with you, they saw you. When they saw you, you were you. There was something unique about you. There was something special about you that they admired. And of course, you cannot lose that. When you lose that, you're going to lose them as well. So keeping people goes beyond what you see and when you want to please them. It also has to do with how you take care of yourself, because when they look at you, they will be, feeling good about you. They will respect the fact that they have someone of such value. So if there is something they saw before they came, that thing should remain there and increase. It should get better. So don't lose yourself. Don't forget yourself. Take care of you. Prioritize your self-care, self-love, take care of you, as well as you share some moments with them and, some experience and have fun with them. Also remember that you have to take care of yourself, take care of your health, look good, smell good, take care of your vision, your purpose, still build your life as though they are not there. Prioritize your time with them and also prioritize your time for yourself. If you do that, you will have a balanced life. And when they look at you, they'll see that that person, whoever you are dating, will see that you have an organized life, and they will have more reason to stick with you and become more bonded with you, because everybody wants to go with someone who is moving forward, someone who has a a sense of purpose, and knows what to do. And that's very important. The dating stage of relationship is a pass key to a stronger relationship. So if you must avoid these common mistakes I listed while in a dating relationship, it's going to strengthen your relationship. It's going to prepare you for a healthy and a loving lifestyle while living with that person you love. And of course, you will come back always to thank me for this video. So if you find this video interesting, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. I need your thumbs up, I need your subscription, and I need your comments. And finally, I need you to share the video. This is going to help YouTube to recommend this video to more viewers and more people to see them. Thank you for watching.